That poll has numbers in it. It's a basket of polls that were taken before that big inflammatory debate on Saturday night and also after. So it's a mixed bag. No clear gauge out there on who may have picked up steam since then. But the candidates are fighting for every last vote. They're burning up the campaign trail and slinging a whole lot of mud in the state of South Carolina. Here's a little bit of that.
We need a leader who's prepared to be commander-in-chief. When radical Islamic terrorists wage jihad on the United States of America, the answer is not to tweet insults at them.
Here's a guy who came out with such an unbelievably strong statement that Ted Cruz is the most dishonest person in the, like the most incredible statement. What I'm telling you is true. I've never seen a human being lie so much. He lies about everything.
If a real estate developer tried to take your property to build a hotel, I'm just saying, I'm just using that as an example. Using eminent domain, you can't do that in Florida. I'm just saying it theoretically. I don't have anyone in mind. I'm just saying if that were to happen.
We will never win by tearing people down or saying how bad things are or saying you're bad, I'm great. Donald Trump being the prime example. He's wrong. He is totally wrong. And I'm not about to let a guy hijack the conservative cause that has created the greatness of this country. I will fight to the bitter end.
And fight they will. Senior correspondent John Roberts live in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina this morning at the heart of all the action right now in the political sphere. John, good morning to you. What's the latest there?
Getting rough out there, Martha. We're just outside of Charleston, a sold-out Rubio event. He'll be talking to the folks here in just a few minutes. But let's flash back to Saturday night when Donald Trump was loudly booed after he blamed George W. Bush, Bush 43, for missing the warning signs leading up to 9/11. He's been doubling down on that argument as well. Yesterday, he also blamed Bill Clinton for it when asked whether 9/11 would have happened on his watch had he been president in 1998. Trump said, well, at the very least, the terrorists would have never been in the country. Listen.
They wouldn't have been in the country. Certainly many of them wouldn't have been, and we would have somehow found a way to stop it. Clinton should have taken the shot. He had everything going, and for some reason he decided not to. You'll have to ask him. Very sad.
Meantime, Jeb Bush on the stump, not taking Donald Trump's attacks against his brother lightly, rushing to George W. Bush's defense yesterday. Listen to this.
No one envisioned 9/11. I don't care what Donald Trump says. The guy is a complete loser with his statements about this. You can't anticipate things. It's what you do when it happens that matters. My brother responded in a way that I'm proud of.
Now, conventional wisdom would hold that blaming George Bush for 9/11 would be a risky proposition for a Republican candidate. But, Martha, as we have seen, nothing seems to affect Donald Trump.
No, it sure doesn't. And his numbers continue to be very strong. And he and Marco Rubio are kind of going after, they're both going after Ted Cruz in the state you're in.
Oh, and they are going after him hard. Don't forget, Ted Cruz running second here in the Palmetto State, so Donald Trump wants to keep him down. Marco Rubio, who'd like to finish second, wants to knock him off, both using very strident language against Cruz, out and out calling him a liar.
This has been a pattern now with Ted. I mean, he spent the last 2 weeks literally just making stuff up. I just think it's very disturbing that you can just come and make things up about people and believe no one's going to call you out on it. And it's now become a pattern. So we have to clarify that. We can't let that stand unchallenged.
Rubio, Cruz, and Trump all going from that very important evangelical vote here in South Carolina. Donald Trump making the case that lying isn't exactly keeping with Christian values. Martha?
Fascinating politics in South Carolina. John, thank you.